Boudica was an extraordinary woman, born into a world of warriors and druids, where forests held ancient magic, and people fiercely protected their freedom. Buckle up, buttercups. We are going to dive into the life and times of this extraordinary woman, who could put Xena the warrior princess to shame. Also, warning, graphic subject matter ahead. Let's just say the Romans did not behave as gentlemen towards Boudica and her daughters. Likely born around 20 or 30 AD, Boudica was royalty, a princess of the Iceni tribe. They ruled Norfolk and Suffolk in eastern England. Imagine her as a young girl, with fiery red hair and bright eyes, surrounded by stories of her ancestors' bravery, riding horses bareback across rolling hills. Boudica, a true daughter of the Iceni, born to lead. Her strength and wisdom became evident to all. She possessed a sharp mind and a fierce tongue, fearless and outspoken, commanding respect, shaping the destiny of her people. At age 18, Boudica married King Prasutagus, ruler of the Iceni. They ruled together, bringing peace and prosperity. Boudica's world was changing. The Roman Empire cast its shadow upon Britain. In 43 AD, Emperor Claudius invaded. The Britons fought bravely but faced a formidable force. The Iceni under Prasutagus chose an uneasy truce, acknowledging Roman authority. This fragile peace would not last forever. The Romans grew greedy, exploiting the Iceni people. Resentment grew, waiting to erupt. The year was 60 AD. King Prasutagus, beloved by his people and respected even by the Romans, was dying. In a final act of diplomacy, hoping to secure his family's future and protect his kingdom, he decided to leave his kingdom jointly to his daughters and to the Roman Emperor Nero. It was a calculated risk, a gamble to appease Rome and ensure the Iceni's survival. But the Romans, it turned out, could not be trusted. When Prasutagus breathed his last, they betrayed his trust and ignored his will. Roman officials hungry for power and wealth marched into Iceni territory and seized control. They treated the Iceni lands like their own personal playground. The Romans, thinking they could do whatever they liked, confiscated the property of Iceni nobles, imposed heavy taxes and enslaved many Iceni people. But what happened next was the spark that ignited a firestorm. Boudica, the queen of the Iceni, was publicly flogged. This was not just a physical assault, it was a deliberate act of humiliation, a way to crush her spirit and show the Iceni who was in charge. To make matters even worse, Boudica's daughters, her own flesh and blood, were brutally raped by Roman soldiers. Imagine the rage, the unimaginable grief and fury that Boudica must have felt. Her husband's dying wish had been trampled upon, her kingdom stolen, her daughters violated, and she herself had been humiliated. The Romans had miscalculated terribly. They thought they could break Boudica, but they only made her stronger. They had unleashed the fury of a mother and the wrath of a queen. The Romans had pushed Boudica too far, and she was ready to fight back. Boudica's rebellion, a firestorm engulfs Roman Britain. Word of the Roman atrocities spread like wildfire through the Iceni lands and beyond. Other tribes who had also suffered under Roman rule rallied to Boudica's cause. The Trinovantes, a powerful tribe who had once held the lands where the Romans had built their bustling city of Camulodunum, modern-day Colchester, were among the first to join her. Boudica was no ordinary rebel leader. She was a charismatic and inspiring figure, a skilled warrior and a gifted orator. She rode from village to village, her voice ringing out, urging her people to rise up against their oppressors. These Romans, she declared, who claim to be civilized, who build temples and roads, are nothing but greedy wolves in sheep's clothing. And rise up they did. Tens of thousands of warriors, men and women alike, flocked to Boudica's banner. They were armed with swords, spears and axes, their faces painted with war paint, their hearts burning with a thirst for revenge and a longing for freedom. Some historians believe that Boudica's army numbered over 100,000 strong, a force to be reckoned with. Their first target was Camulodunum, a symbol of Roman power and arrogance. The city was lightly defended, and the Britons, fueled by righteous anger, stormed the Roman defenses. The attack was swift and brutal. They burned the city to the ground, leaving behind nothing but smoldering ruins. The streets ran red with the blood of Roman soldiers and settlers. Boudica had struck her first blow, and it was a devastating one. Then Boudica's army of Britons defeated a detachment of Rome's 9th Legion. Afterwards, the Britons stormed and burnt Londinium and Verulamium. The Roman provincial governor, Gaius Suetonius Paulinus, regrouped his forces and now had to take Boudica's threat seriously. The final chapter of Boudica's rebellion was about to unfold. The Roman governor Suetonius was determined to crush the uprising. He gathered his forces, veterans hardened by years of battle, and marched to meet Boudica. The two armies clashed in a fierce and bloody battle. Boudica's warriors fought with unmatched ferocity, driven by their desire for freedom and revenge. But the Romans, disciplined and well-armed, held their ground. The battlefield was a scene of chaos and carnage. Boudica at the forefront fought valiantly, her spirit unbroken. But the tide of battle turned against her. The Roman legions, with their superior tactics and weaponry, began to overwhelm the Britons. Despite their bravery, Boudica's forces were no match for the might of Rome. As the sun set on that fateful day, the rebellion was crushed. Boudica, the fearless queen who had defied an empire, faced her final defeat, but her legacy would live on. She became a symbol of resistance and courage, inspiring generations to come. The story of Boudica, the warrior queen, is still remembered, even today.
Thank you for watching. Hope you found this video informative and entertaining. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. We do like to know and hear your feedback. And if you have the means, please consider supporting us on Patreon, where you can get early access to our videos, and where we post bonus material. Till next time, this is Geeky Tidbits saying cheers and have a good day.